Good morning. My name is Liz Pillar Little, and I use she, her pronouns. I am a short, graying brunette with a yellow sweater and a teal dress on. Welcome to First Unitarian Church, where our mission is to explore the eternal, nurture community, and pursue the common good. We welcome you in your brokenness and in your wholeness. No matter who you have been, who you are, or who you are becoming, we greet you today with love. I'd like to extend a special welcome to everyone who is watching us on YouTube this morning. During the prelude, please introduce yourself in the comments and let us know where you're joining from. Especially if you're in OKC, what neighborhood you are in, and if you're elsewhere, what city you are in.
Good morning again. I am Reverend Diana Davies. My pronouns are she, her, and for those of you who may be watching us online with limited bandwidth or who are blind or with a visual impairment, I am a white woman with gray hair, and today I am wearing, in honor of our water ceremony, my Dr. Seuss red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish stole. This is a day filled with joy. The joy of being together in community, the joy of beginnings as we launch a new church year with new programs and new members and staff, the joy of finally a cool and crisp morning with autumn in the air. But in the midst of all this joy, there is also deep sadness, because it was on this day, 21 years ago, in fact, on a day very much like this in New York City, a beautiful, sunny, crisp day after a rain. It was 21 years ago that our country experienced the worst terrorist attack in our history. For some of us, September 11th, 2001 is the distant past, but for others, it seems like just yesterday. And September 11th is an anniversary that may trigger devastating, even traumatic memories. So it's right that we should take a moment to honor this day and all it represents, and to remember all the lives that were lost or forever changed. So I invite you to find an attitude of stillness and reverence, and take a deep breath. And you may want to take a moment to just be aware of the space around you and remind yourself that right now, in this place, you are safe. For all those who died in or near the Twin Towers on September 11th, 2001, we honor your memory. We mourn the loss of your precious life. We commit ourselves to love, not hate. For those who died in the Pentagon on that day, we honor your memory. We mourn the loss of your precious life. We commit ourselves to love, not hate. For the many thousands who have died of illnesses related to 9/11, we honor your memory. We mourn the loss of your precious life. We commit ourselves to love, not hate. For those brave passengers of United Airlines 93 who died in a Pennsylvania field, we honor your memory. We mourn the loss of your precious life. We commit ourselves to love, not hate. and for those who live still, but who are forever changed because of the tragic losses sustained on that day and in the days since. We honor you, we mourn with you, we commit ourselves to love, not hate. Please join me in a moment of silence. Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love.
Thank you, my friends. We light our chalice in Midtown Oklahoma City on land that was home to first Americans, including the Apache, Caddo, and Wichita, on land that was taken from the Muskogee and Seminole and other removed and relocated peoples. We light the chalice as a symbol of our sacred time together. The burning chalice represents the light of reason and science, the warmth of loving community, the cleansing heat of justice, and the flame of hope.
To all who are joining us for the first time today, welcome. To all who are returning after several years or a few months or only yesterday, welcome back, welcome home. At our annual Ingathering service, we come together as a family of travelers reuniting after our many separate journeys to share our stories, to support and celebrate one another, to hold one another accountable within the loving bonds of covenant and community.
Today, we celebrate our reunion with ritual. The water ceremony was introduced into Unitarian Universalist worship in the 1980s. It was designed by two women, Carolyn McDade and Lucille Shuck Longview, to be a ritual that, quote, spoke to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on the planet, unquote. The originators of this ceremony chose water as their central metaphor because of its elemental nature, because it was in the water that life on earth was first generated, and in the amniotic waters that each one of us was formed. Today, Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world celebrate the water ceremony as a symbol of our shared faith coming together from many different sources. We join with all those who celebrate today. Together, we form a mighty river flowing into an infinite sea. This is the time to gather the waters. You'll see that there are 4 stations, 1 bowl in each corner of the sanctuary. In many earth-based traditions, the 4 directions represent different seasons of the year and different aspects of life. The east is spring, the dawning of new ideas, inspiration, air, change, life. It flows like a river. The south is summer, a time of fertility and fire, a time of transformation, joy like a fountain. The west is autumn, a time for reflecting on our emotions as light reflects off water, a time for tears that fall like cleansing and healing raindrops. And the north is the winter, a heavy time of waiting as the earth is heavy, a time for balance, a deep time as the ocean is deep. We will sing 4 verses of the hymn, I've Got Peace Like a River, which is number 100 in the gray hymnal. And we'll sing 1, 2, 3, and 5. I've got peace like a river. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got love like the ocean. I've got tears like the raindrops. And we'll sing it through as long as we need to until everyone has had a chance to pour their water. It'll probably end up being about twice. So I invite you, I'm going to ask our 4 worship assistants to each take a place at one of the bowls so everyone can see where they are. And then I will ask everyone to look and see which is the bowl that is closest to you or is easiest for you to get to. And for folks in the balcony, you may not be able to see because they're right below you. As you pour, I can ask you to consider the significance of the blessing that that particular bowl carries for you. That blessing might be new ideas and inspiration, peace like a river. It might be transformation and fire, joy like a fountain. Your special blessing today might be balance and depth, love like the ocean, or it might be reflection and healing, cleansing like the raindrops. After you've poured your water into the bowl that is nearest to you, I ask that you move back toward your seat as quickly as possible so that the center areas don't become clogged. So we'll begin, and go ahead as you're able to go to one of your bowls and pour just a little bit of your water. If you brought a whole thermos full of water, please don't pour the whole thing in. There's not quite enough room, and it'll be a lot of work for people to carry those bowls. So just a little bit of water into your bowl. And while we're pouring, we'll go ahead and begin singing hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River. give the choir members just a moment to pour their water if they haven't had a chance yet. You did, all right.
Beautiful, thank you. So before we begin, I need your help telling our story today. So whenever you hear the word swim, or like swam, swum, swimming, I want you to swim along with us like this. Okay? Go ahead and practice. Come on. If you want, you can throw in one of these too. And whenever you hear the word wave, I want you to put your arms in the air and just wave back and forth gently. Thank you. Our story today is called Francis the Fish Figures Out Friendship. Once upon a time, in a special lake named Oxbow Lake, not too far away, there was a fish named Francis. Francis the fish was a young fish and was just starting off at school. Francis the fish was excited for school. She didn't really know that many other fish or have that many friends. She was both excited and scared, though, because she wasn't sure how she was going to fit in at school. Before her first day, she swam over to Whitman the Wise. Whitman the Wise was indeed the wisest fish in the lake and happened to live next door to Francis. Francis was eager to learn about how she could be friends with more fish like her, and thought that Whitman the Wise might have a suggestion in how to help. "Hi, Whitman the Wise," said Francis. "I'm nervous about school. I really want to make friends, but I'm scared. Do you have any advice for me?" Whitman swam up and down and began to speak.
We are water. Water is inside us and all around us. This Oxbow Lake is our home. A long time ago, our lake was once a river. Water carved this lake from the rock over time. Remember the strength of water, young Francis. Its strength can carve stone. Its power can move mountains. Let water run through you. Let strength run through you. Remember that you are water. Remember that you are strength.
Well, Francis the fish vowed to draw strength from the water inside her and all around her, as water was strong. Soon it was time for school. She waited for the right wave to pass by, and she started swimming along. She swam by the farm, she swam by the coral, she swam down the valley, and she ended up at school. Well, that day didn't go so great for Francis. So here's an example. So during break time at school, they decided to play a game of tag. Francis knew she needed to be strong, and so she took charge. She knew the rules of tag, of course. And even though the other fish tried to say that she had the rules wrong, she wasn't hearing any of it. She had to be strong after all. If she changed her mind on the rules of the game, she would be weak, wouldn't she? After the game, the other fish at school really wouldn't talk to her that much anymore. The wave passed by, and Francis the fish swam back to her home. Whitman the Wise was waiting for her outside.
Oh, young Francis, I wanted to see how your day went. Did you find strength from the water?
Well, kind of, Whitman. See, I was strong, but they wouldn't play by my rules, and I don't think they liked me being that strong.
Ah, I understand. There are many different ways of being strong. You can be strong and confident, but still be open to others. There are more lessons to learn from the water. We are water. Water is inside us and all around us. This Oxbow Lake is our home. A long time ago, our lake was once a river. The river formed a bend around a stone, and the water kept bending until the river cut us off, forming our beloved Oxbow Lake. Remember the flexibility of water, young Francis. It can bend around the earth, carving a new path. Let water run through you. Let flexibility run through you. Remember that you are water. Remember that you are flexibility.
Well, Francis the fish vowed to draw flexibility and strength from the water inside her and all around her, as water was both flexible and strong. Well, soon it was time for school. She waited for the right wave to pass by, and she started swimming along. She swam by the farm, she swam by the coral, she swam down the valley, and she ended up at school. Well, that day didn't go so great for Frances. She started off being flexible, but maybe just a little too flexible. She decided to just go along with what all the other fish said to do in order to try and fit in. But she wasn't happy at all, and she ended up doing some very silly things just to make the other fish happy. But then she remembered that Whitman said to unite both strength and flexibility. She tried to be flexible while being strong and confident, but by the end of the day, she felt like she had made no progress at all. The wave passed by, and Frances the fish swam back to her home. And wouldn't you know it, Whitman the Wise was waiting for her outside her home once again.
Oh, young Francis, I wanted to see how your day went. Did you find flexibility from the water?
Well, kind of, Whitman. See, I was too flexible at first, but then I remembered I had to unite flexibility with strength. But it didn't seem to make a difference. I'm ready to give up.
Oh, I understand. There is one more final lesson to learn from the water. We are water. Water is inside us and all around us. This Oxbow Lake is our home. The final lesson to learn from water is resiliency. The final lesson to learn is to keep going. The river doesn't stop flowing. It dug our lake over time. The river bent our lake into shape over time. Water doesn't give up. It keeps flowing. It keeps moving. It keeps trying. Let water run through you. Let resilience run through you. Remember that you are water. Remember that you are resilient. When you unite strength and flexibility with resilience, you can change the world. It's what created the lake we live in, the world we live in, and it's what you can use to change your life too.
Frances the fish vowed to draw strength, flexibility, and resiliency from the water inside and all around her, as water is strong, water is flexible, and water is resilient. Soon it was time for school. She waited for the right wave to pass by, and she started swimming along. She swam by the farm, she swam by the coral, she swam down the valley, and she ended up at school. And wouldn't you know it, this time she remembered the lessons from Whitman the Wise about the Oxbow Lake she lived in. So it didn't happen right away. It took some time, but she remembered. She drew strength from the water. She drew flexibility from the water. And she drew resiliency from the water, just like we all can. And sooner than you think, Frances the fish was swimming happily in the middle of her school, surrounded by friends, thanks to her strength, her flexibility, and her resiliency. And that, my friends, is how Frances the fish finally found friendship. The end.
Oh, friends, I am so happy. Today we formally welcome a new member of our staff, our choir director, 1UCOKC. Music is an integral part of our shared ministry as a congregation. For many, music is the spirit of worship, and it is what lives on in our hearts long after spoken words have been forgotten. Music has the power to calm our agitated minds, to soothe our weary souls, to remind us of what courage feels like. Through music, we mourn together, we celebrate together, we remind ourselves of why we have gathered in the first place. Our congregational music is a living embodiment of our shared values. In choir anthems and in congregational hymns, every voice matters. Every voice contributes to the whole, and yet, when voices are joined together as one, they create something that is so much greater than the sum of its parts. When we sing together, we come in direct contact with that great mystery of interconnectedness and generativity. We experience the magic of emergence. 1UCOKC, as our choir director, we trust that you will utilize your knowledge, your experience, your skills, your passion to help shape many voices into one shared song. We trust that you will hold this choir and the entire congregation in patience and in kindness, knowing that we may not offer the perfection of professionals, but we can, when we are at our best, offer a music of the heart that is beautiful in its sincerity and its love. And we also trust that you will challenge us to sing out loud, to explore new music, to stretch at times beyond what is easy or comfortable, and to have faith that our voices are beautiful, even if our pitch and our tone are not. Do you accept this charge of leading us in spirit and in song?
With all my heart, I do.
And choir members and other members of the congregation, do you commit to supporting Ebuka in his music ministry, helping him feel welcome and included in our community, and adding your voice to our shared song? If so, say, "We do." And once again, will you join me in welcoming our new choir director?
I'm sorry, Diane. I'll just say a few words, and this job, this place, this community, this church is a dream come true for me. I came to the United States as an international student from Nigeria. I came here in 2016, went to Louisiana at first. I wanted to study music. Music has always been at the heart of my soul in everything I've done. I had a bachelor's degree in theater, but I always wanted to do music. And I couldn't do it in Nigeria because, as most of you will know, it's a world of difference between the United States and Nigeria. And fortunately, I came here, went to Louisiana, lived in Louisiana for 4 years. I got a master's in communication, but still the passion for music. I was both strong in will. I was flexible to do some other things, like taking music undergrad classes while getting my master's in communication, and my resilience got me to a music program finally. And then COVID hit. Yes, we all know the experience. But my will was still strong, and I had to be flexible again to move to Oklahoma, and resilient to continue my music program at the University of Oklahoma Norman, where I got my master's in music, finally, in December of 2021, and still with the properties of water as we've learned today, I moved on to continue a doctoral program in music, still at the University of Oklahoma, and I'm here with you, and I promise that all the years of experience, knowledge, and action, musical action that I've learned and acquired is what I'm going to deposit here with this choir, this wonderful group of people, and this beautiful congregation. And with that, I will give you an idea of what it is to have me as your music director, choir director. Bless this house, O Lord, we pray. Make it safe by night and day. Bless these walls so firm and stout, keeping want and trouble out. Bless the roof and the chimneys tall. Let thy peace lie over all. Bless this door that it may prove ever open to joy and love. Bless these windows shining bright, let in God's heavenly light. Bless the hearth ablaze in there, with smoke ascending like a prayer. Bless the people here within, keep us pure and free from guilt. Bless us all that we may be fit, O Lord, to dwell with thee. Bless us all that one day we may dwell, O Lord, with thee. Thank you.
Well, that was just beautiful. Every Sunday, we take an offering. Since 2002, all the cash and designated checks from that offering have gone directly to external nonprofit organizations doing good work, our Change for Change partners. For the month of September, our Change for Change partner is the Row Fund. This funds help low and no income Oklahomans obtain reproductive services, including abortion, referrals, and information. Grants are paid directly to abortion providers. For those of you who are in the sanctuary with us today, in just a moment we'll be passing the offering plate. If you're not able to make a gift today, we invite you to write a note of encouragement to our Change for Change partner organization, and we'll share those messages with them as well. And if you're watching us online, please make your gift by sending a check to First Unitarian. Just write Change for Change on the memo line, or make an online payment through our website, 1UC.org.
At this time, we will bless and welcome a young life into our community of love. Kempton Michael Heath Lacey. Could Kempton's family please come to the front of the sanctuary here by Tim? Oh, yes.
To Kempton's family, will you promise to care for Kempton? Love him with all your heart and soul. Will you raise him to love justice and live with compassion? Will you extend to Kempton kindness and courage? And will you encourage him to live his dreams? If so, please say, "We will." And now I want to speak to all of the children in the congregation. This is your part. I'm going to ask you to shout out when it's your turn. Will you promise to love Kenton, to play with him? Will you show him kindness and share with him and help him out and welcome him to our church? If so, raise yes. Yes. And to the whole congregation, will you promise to care for Kenton? Will you help raise him to love justice and live with compassion? Will you extend to him kindness and courage? And will you encourage him to live his dreams? If so, say, we will. We will. Kenton, we bless you with water. This water contains a drop of the water collected at past Ingathering services. May water bless you with coolness, clarity, and the ability to flow with what life brings you. May you be fluid and flexible, but strong and persistent as water. And now we bless you with fire. This warmth comes from the flame of our chalice. May you be blessed with the light of reason and science, the warmth of loving community, the cleansing heat of justice, and the flame of hope. And may your unfolding light spark goodness in the world again and again. And now we bless you with air. Symbolized by a fallen branch from a nearby tree, may air bless you with deep breaths and deep peace. Your little lungs breathe in the same air that was once breathed by your ancestors. In your breath, receive the blessing of your ancestors. May your life also be a blessing for those who follow you. And we bless you with earth. May you love this planet that is your home, even as the earth loves you. May you know the joy of digging in dirt and watching things grow. May you never be afraid to get a little dirty, maybe a lot dirty sometimes. And may you always know that you are the most beloved child of nature. And now we bless you with a flower. We bless the name you have been given, the body that holds your life, your mind that will grow and change. As your precious life unfolds, may you know the timeless beauty of your spirit and the eternal love that holds you always. In the name of all that is most sacred and most good. Amen. We all please join Kempton. we have gathered the waters today as a symbol of the way that the separate streams of our lives flow into the sea of community. But today we also pause to think of water not just as a metaphor, but as a basic building block of life itself. The element that makes up more than half of our bodies. The thing without which no one, no matter how powerful or weak, can survive. As the great Nigerian musician and activist Fela Kuti once sang, nothing without water. And so today we pause to remember those who do not have access to clean and drinkable water. We remember the people of Jackson, Mississippi and Flint, Michigan, who have suffered without a safe public water supply for an inexcusably long time, and who will face the deadly repercussions of contamination for many years to come. We think of the people of northern and sub-Saharan Africa, in the Middle East, and in South Asia, for whom clean water is in crucially short supply, who sometimes must walk long distances through dangerous terrain to find water to drink. For all those who suffer because there isn't enough water, we remember you. We commit ourselves to learning about and supporting you in your struggle. We also remember those who are suffering from not too much water, from too much water, from water as hurricane, monsoon, or flood, water that erodes the land, water in the form of oceans rising. We especially lift up the people of Pakistan who are facing what has been called climate carnage, resulting in over 1,400 people dead and more than 1 million people left homeless. For all those who suffer because there is too much water, we remember you. We commit ourselves to learning about and supporting you in your struggle. And we send thoughts of encouragement and resilience to all those who see water as sacred, as the lifeblood of Mother Earth. We remember the First Nations people who are struggling to defend their sacred waters, and the water defenders all around the world who risk their lives for the protection of rivers, lakes, and streams. For all those who resist the pollution, contamination, and theft of sacred waters, we remember you. We commit ourselves to learning about and supporting you in your struggle. And finally, we pour the water once more with the spirit of gratitude. Spirit of waters, we say thank you for accessible and safe tap water, for cold water on a hot day, for all the bodies of water that make our home beautiful, for the water of our own bodies. Thank you. Our waters after our service will be combined, they will be sterilized and frozen, and then we will thaw the water out and use it throughout the year for child dedications and other blessings. For now, however, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we sing hymn number 203 in your great hymn. All creatures of the earth and sky will sing just the first 3 verses.
creatures of the earth and sky, come, kindred, lift your voices high. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Bright burning sun with golden beam, soft shimmering moon with silver gleam. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Swift rushing wind so wild and strong, white clouds that sail in the night long. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Fair rising morning, praise, rejoice. High stars of evening find a voice. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, flowing water, pure and clear, make music for all life to hear. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Dance flame of fire, strong and bright, and bless us with your warmth and light. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of love and community which burns on in our hearts.
After the service today, all are invited to join us in Daniel Hall or out in the courtyard on this beautiful day for fellowship and reunion. And I do want to mention that there is an effort underway through the 9/11 Memorial to take a picture of the sky, wherever you are this morning, and post it to social media with the hashtag Remember the Sky in honor of that day. And now, I bless you. I love you. May you be strong as the water. May you be flexible as the water. May you be resilient and go with the flow. Blessed be. Amen.